Performance Beef. That's a program that's helped our farm tremendously. When we first started, we needed record keeping, but really just the old-fashioned way of a notebook and pen and paper. When did you buy them? When did you sell them? How much money did you spend feeding them? All that sort of stuff. I won't say it's impossible to keep track of it, but it would really be tough to do a good job and actually know what your cost of production is. If I had to try to manage the different farms and make sure that custom growers are paid properly for their total days on feed on their farm, and to have to spend all that time hand calculating it would take forever. So it's a huge time saver, a vital part of our operation. Whatever shot I just gave, or whatever one, whatever treatment, we just implanted them all. We can plug that in right there.
Yep.
I think you have to know what your cost of production is, and I don't know that we would have any idea what it was on an accurate basis if we didn't have something like Performance Beef to help us manage our information. I think the favorite aspect, if I were to start from the top down, just the feeding part of it, to be able to recognize that you don't have to look at a paper mix sheet and you can follow your batch sheets so close. Whenever you just get a look at your phone or look at your iPad and you follow those rations to the T, you can look back once in a while and see, well, if things don't look quite right, can we double check our batches? Can we double check how the feed was actually mixed? So it's very easy to see, was it mixed accurately or was it not? It's very easy to make moisture changes. Some of the byproduct feeds that we feed, they do vary. You may get one load of wet corn gluten in that's 50% moisture. You may get the next load and it's 65% moisture. Rather than going back to the computer, printing off new sheets, or worse yet, not making the change, realizing that the ration ingredients changed but you didn't change with them, it affects your cattle performance. So rather than go through all those steps, all we've got to do is just get on the phone, go to the ingredients tab, change the dry matter percentage. It changes everything throughout the program then on how many pounds should be fed, what percentage of the batches they are, and then feeds mixed just right for the cattle. So that's definitely my favorite part. I think we've been customers of Performance Beef for probably 5 years, maybe 6. I was aware of it for a couple of years prior to that. I had a couple customers that were using it for a year or two before I got started. So I was familiar with how it worked. Didn't know for sure if we needed it yet. And then especially as we started expanding our beef business and knew that we had cattle on multiple locations, and I just knew we had to be able to have a good way of keeping track of all of our data. I think you just have to know what your costs are. I think anybody that's good at what they do knows what their break-evens are, whether it's crops or any business. I think you have to know what your cost of production is, and I don't know that we would have any idea what it was on an accurate basis if we didn't have something like Performance Beef to help us manage our information.